So let me be very clear. This is a case of not reading the fine print. I didn't realize this was a visual novel, so when I first jumped into it, I'm like, when do we get to the game? When do I get to actually manipulate the stock market myself? And I quickly realized that's not how this works. Not even close. The way this game works is, it's a story. It's a very well drawn, very pretty, awesome music, all that jazz. But it is, in essence, a story. So, that being said, that's totally on me. Those last 2 episodes, I must have looked quite the fool. But don't mistake that for me not enjoying this game, because I do. I guess, is it technically a game? I mean, it kind of is. It's just more like the only interaction I have is doing this. What did you eat yesterday? Click. Well, it was pretty tranquil until the woman suddenly asked me a question, that sort of thing. So here's my thought on it. I'm going to power through this. You know why? Because I wanted to see where this goes. I've never done a let's read before, so this is going to be a new experience. I'm going to do my best to, I suppose this is going to be perform as well as I can. And if you're interested, if you enjoy it, well then, I mean, come along for the ride, won't you? It's going to be experimental in more ways than one. As we were. What did what I had to eat yesterday have to do with you? Yeah, I gotta learn to read again too, apparently. I ignored her as I stared at my screen, but she wouldn't stop looking at me. Her face, visible from the corner of my eye, didn't make it look like she was particularly interested in the question, but she wouldn't turn away. Defeated, I raised my glance, and at that moment, she grinned.
Pasta.
Oh wait, no, crap, that was my voice. Pasta. Balls drop, we're good now. I answered, then turned back to my screen. I updated my data while I was in the cafe, so I searched for any corporate news that might affect the market in the next few days. Ah, a man of business.
From where?
From a place that is... Lady, I am trying to do business. This is important business stuff. I might be 14 years old, but god damn it, I make more money than you do in a month. Kick. As I clicked my tongue, the woman's smile, as expected, disappeared. Yeah, she kind of went into an unconscious O-face. She didn't get mad or stand up, though. No, she... Are you having a stroke? You kind of look like you're having a stroke. You all right there?
That doesn't suit you, you know.
She said this so seriously that instead of getting mad, I ended up blushing. She's treating me like a complete child. Hey, let's be fair here. It's basically what he is. Yeah.
Big Bull Cafe.
What? It was an arrogantly named place for a nearly illegal operation. You see, bulls were symbols of strong markets. Ah, now see that I knew. There's bull markets and bear markets are when it's sluggish, I think. I'll probably say that right after this. For that reason, there are bronze bulls placed in the front of the biggest financial districts in the world, like America's Wall Street, yeah, and the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. So for me, the place was good luck.
So Saro's handmade pasta.
Saro?
Well, wasn't there a real skinny guy there? The guy owns the place.
That's going to be my default female voice for almost everyone, unless I see an opportunity to be extra goofy, so bear with. Owns the... I was a little heartbroken at those words. I was sure that he was some loser who worked there by the hour, but to be the owner of a store, big or small, was a fine example of a capitalist. Not only that, I was heartbroken to hear that I was eating his pasta. I mean, it was good.
I taught him how to make those.
Well, then why are you here? The woman beamed with pride. Wait, if she taught him, then where did they know each other from? I mean, don't tell me they used to be lovers. As I dreamed up juicy scenarios in my head, I stared vacantly at her face as she turned back to the television.
So, was that lunch? Dinner?
Huh?
Did you eat that for lunch or dinner?
Wow. Epic conversations in World and Economica. I didn't have the slightest idea as to why she was asking for all those details. Yeah, is your life really that boring? I mean, come on, I'm just some guy who's sitting down in a cafe, udon, Chinese restaurant, whatever. I'm just on my computer. Like, lady, there's other customers. No, what am I saying? Your place completely empty. All right, it's a slow day. Fair enough. It was probably because of some stupid made-for-woman horoscope that she watched every day. Whoa! Ooh, I like it. Sexism is alive and well on the moon. I bet it was something like, if you ask a boy you meet today what and where he ate for each meal yesterday, your lucky color is yellow and your lucky word is optimism. Dinner.
What about lunch?
Oh my God, woman. I'm starting to just... What are you getting at? Do you want an extra tip? Have I not ordered something yet? What's the deal here? Come on, talk to me. And not about what I ate. I had set out to click my tongue, but after being told straight-faced that it didn't suit me, I ended up holding back. The woman might have noticed this fact because she was grinning slightly. My God, small victories, right? Huh. I answered her after telling her in my mind to shut up. I'll say it out loud. Shut up. I had a lot of practice from doing that in Valhalla. This is like second nature. I didn't need it.
Really?
This time, I didn't keep myself from clicking my tongue or getting angry for that matter. Why she wanted to know these things in such detail completely baffled me.
And...
Oh, whoa, hold on. And what do you care? Right as I turned her question around on her, a plate of fried rice hit the counter with a thud. The woman stood up and brought the plate over. Then, right as I thought she was going to place it on the table, she kept the plate in her hand and looked down at me.
You really didn't eat anything for lunch?
As if to show her that I was trying my hardest not to click my tongue, I started to scrape my upper lip with my teeth. Okay, I was trying to imagine that face. I got it now. Kind of like a caveman underbite. No, I didn't. I don't eat lunch on weekdays.
What about today?
Today is an exception since I was driven out of the cafe at a weird time. So what? Anyways, give me my food. You're just holding up there. Come on. Eating a proper lunch was something special to me. Since I usually only did it on Sundays when the Lunar Stock Exchange was closed, eating lunch on a weekday was rare. As I glared at the woman, she heaved a small sigh and placed the plate on the table, completely unperturbed. You lack professionalism, madam. The smell of the sweet and sour sauce whetted my appetite. My interest shifted from the now strangely annoying woman's questions to the food in front of me.
You need to eat 3 meals a day.
I didn't mean to say it that way, but that works. The woman talked to me while standing and staring at me digging into the fried rice.
You need a little more neatly.
Mind your own business, I muttered mentally as I piled a mountain of rice and crab omelet on my spoon. Oh, I've actually had that before. It's not bad, and I don't like seafood, so that's saying something. The woman sighed and then returned listlessly to her counterside chair. What a cryptic, stupid woman. Oh man, dropping the blunt gauntlet. I focused on my food, stuffing my stomach with such vigor that I barely had time to even sigh. Oh good, we're done. Now? Ooh, no, we're still here. After filling my stomach with fried rice, I ordered the jelly, sweet and sour gelatinous dish. I gathered that. It's like a pudding cup or something. It was unusual to see this dessert around here, but it was definitely delicious. A little expensive. Since today was a cursed day. It was a cursed day. I thought that it might be just the exorcism I needed. Oh, good. You got money, right? No, I came in here expecting charity. The woman doubted me after I made my order, but of course I had enough money to cover a regular meal. You could rent a cheap apartment for 400 mools a month, so I could live on my own pretty easily. The reason I actually couldn't was because there weren't any places a minor with no guarantor could get rent. I heard that on Earth, people in my situation were sometimes able to make it happen. Fortunately, lunar cities were only accessible via orbital elevator, and so everyone's identity was known. If I went to a rent house, they'd immediately run my fingerprints, an iris scan, and then contact my parents. Unless you were an extraterrestrial, if you're on the moon, they know who you are and where you come from. Have I ever stiffed you?
Well, just because you paid in the past doesn't mean that you sure pay next time. And anyway, you ran away from home, right? You need to take better care of your money.
Were you going to rob me? I felt a strange sense of comfort in the fact that her lecture wasn't about my running away itself, and overall I agreed with the idea that people should take care of their money. You don't have to tell me that.
Oh, really?
The woman shrugged, then carried the ayu jelly from the counter, where it had just appeared. It was hard to argue with her since I was in fact wasting money here, but I was confident that I had more money than anyone else my age. What's more, I'd never gone on a wild spending spree. The magic of compound interest made the world go round. If 1 mool today turned into 10 in a year, then 3 years after that, it'd be 10,000. Oh my God. Compare that to what my dad would make in his entire life, earning roughly the same amount every month from sweating in the fields to grow vegetables. In 5 years, there'd be no way I'd be eating in the lame restaurant like this. That woman might be making fun of me now, but I'll bet I'd eventually be wearing a stylish suit and living in a high-rise apartment in Newtown City. And of course, I was not going to stop there. That wasn't where my dream ended. It's where it began. If you're some rich actor, you might be able to bask in space on the opposite side of the moon with some beautiful woman by your side. But if you were one of the wealthiest here in this lunar city, you could go even further. You could make all the emotions and desires you feel when you look up at space come true. Where the fuck did the music go? I ate the sweet and sour clump of Ayu jelly, and as I looked at my screen to choose the tree that would grow me money, I was immersed in a familiar daydream. Yeah. This place was the forefront of humanity, a golden city of wealth and prosperity. I would run through the city's gates. I'd outwit the geniuses and prodigies from Earth to take my place there at last. I silently got myself up during this quiet early afternoon in a Chinese restaurant. Ooh, what the hell was that noise? I moved my mouse back and forth just as I brought up the display for the prominent Even on the Moon investment bank E.J. Rochberg. Customers entered the store. I thought it was strange that customers would come in at this hour and raise my head. At that moment, a feeling ran through my body, like an ice cube had been... Jeez, really? Like an ice cube had just been stuck up my asshole. Jeez. How would you know? Oh, you ratted me out.
Welcome.
2, please. Oh, okay, wait, no. They're just getting lunch. All right. Yes?
Yes, sir. Table for 2.
Come on, bring in the music, please. It's eerie without it. The woman said this in her usual carefree voice, but the words barely entered my ear. I lowered my cap even further over my eyes and hunched over, trying to hide in the reflection of my PC display. Looking at their clothes, it was unmistakable. The pair had just arrived at the table on the other side of the restaurant, were police officers on patrol. Oh, yeah.
I'll get the 10-sheeter and the 10-sheet. I'll get the number 5. Yeah, that. Same here. It's a small-known fact that all police officers sound the same on the moon.
Very well, 2. Blah, blah, blah.
It seemed like they just chose this place randomly during their patrol, but who likes eating in the same restaurant as the cops? Not only that, I think those 2 are the ones that were at the Big Bull Cafe, according to my faint memory. The patrol route for the police didn't include going into the cafe, so someone had to have tipped them off somehow. You pink-haired bitch. I was not some sort of invisible man, so someone surely must have seen me hanging around a weird place at a weird time. Whoever that someone was, they told the police that there was a shady-looking kid around. There'd only be a handful of places they'd search. It was totally possible that those 2 were looking for me. Might also be the reason that the policeman facing me was glancing at me now and then.
But to think he'd take off and lead us on this wild goose chase.
The policeman with his back to me suddenly spoke up. The cop looking at me waited a moment before replying to his partner.
It was just some big shots looking at maps all day decided how wide our area of jurisdiction was to be. And then there wasn't any public survey system in that area either. But I think if he were hiding somewhere, it would have been in the net joint.
Oh yeah, the place I was before.
Storekeeper was a pretty sketchy-looking guy, too. Maybe we should grab him and rough him up a little, punch him in the balls, stop in his gut, break one of his shin bones, set his hair on fire, interrogate him, good cop, worse cop. Don't judge by appearances. He ended up having a pretty impressive history, didn't he? Yeah, I guess, man, I should have studied harder at the academy. I never thought I'd be assigned to the boonies like this.
Holy God, shut up, guys.
Location has nothing to do with it. You just need to carry out your duties.
Sorry.
You're very right about that.
Slowly turning into Homer Simpson, so they really were looking for someone. But the owner, that Soro guy, had an impressive history? Couldn't even begin to imagine.
What do we do after this? I mean, if we go by the book, we'd start the usual thing and with the questioning people. His coworker facing me took a sip of water, went quiet, as if in thought. I got the feeling he was taking a good hard look at me. In my mind, I was praying that they gave up on the questioning and just went back to their nest. Uh-oh. If we call in for reinforcements, we're just going to get laughed at. Looks like we got no choice. Anyway, our duty is to keep public order. Cracks in the safe do begin in the smallest of places. And even if it's just one boy, we can't let him get away. Gotta tie him up, throw him in a trunk, bury him in a landfill, put an apartment on top of him. No one will know.
My heart felt like it was going to jump right out of my mouth. Now there was no mistake. They were tipped off by someone, and they were out looking for me. Lunar cities were nuts about keeping public order. Even in the Red Valley, where suspicious guys wandered the streets, there was not even the faintest trace of any real danger. It was just a degenerate, pleasure-seeking town. Everyone knew how risky committing an act of violence was in a place as small. After all, if you were deported by the Residential Management Court, there'd be no question that you'd never be able to come back.
The only people exempt from that form of punishment were people who were born on the moon. Even then, if you committed second-degree murder or worse, it wasn't so certain. Of course, I wouldn't be subject to the penal code just because I ran away from home, but the overall zeal for maintaining public order would mean that I would be sent back home. After that, I'd probably be forced to report to a local facility every day until I became an adult. While that happened, I'd grow further and further away from the front line of the world and would eventually be swallowed up by the masses. Oh, this guy's afraid of just, fading into the background. He doesn't want to be a curtain jerker. He wants to take center stage. Got it. I fixed my darting eyes on my own hands and thought desperately, how should I escape from here? If I grabbed my PC and ran, the plug would get in the way. Do I unplug the adapter from my PC, then take off running with just the unit? My identity could be given away by the adapter, but it was still better than being captured. Or should I stay still right here and wait for them to leave? I'd like to do that if it's possible, but that officer staring at me seemed like he was about to stand up and shout, "Hey, you," to me at any moment. Cold sweat dripped onto my keyboard. Wait, that woman wouldn't have ratted me out, would she? That was my first thought. As I thought of this possibility, I was tortured by a desperate rage. But suddenly, a shadow appeared over on the table.
It's the specter of death, come to claim your soul.
Hello! More water?
She poured me a refill. I cursed her in my heart, wishing that she wouldn't draw their attention towards me at a time like this, and my lowered face was totally flushed. But a piece of paper with words written on it was attached to the side of the cup she clunked down on the table. And it says, "Get ready." Okay. I nearly raised my head, but the woman quickly left the table before I could make the mistake. I set my computer to mute, shut it down so they didn't notice that my OS was no longer running. I'll give up on the adapter. I quietly pulled the cord out of the main unit and confirmed the location on my bag. I already used the money I always kept in my jacket pocket at the cafe, so I'll use what I had in my back pocket. There was a line in an Old Earth Mafia movie I saw that said that a $10 bill kept in your clothes was a business card to God. It certainly kept you well prepared. I quietly placed a 10-moon bill on by my hand. Oh, okay. Perked up my ears and waited for the right timing. The policeman staring at me nonstop. He was definitely suspicious of me. With a clang, he started to get up. "Tension up." At that very moment, the tension was placed on the counter loudly.
What's wrong?
Cop called out to his partner, who was now halfway out of his seat.
Is it the guy behind me?
Right after he said this, the woman's voice rang energetically through the room.
Thanks for waiting. Here's your tension dun 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 dun. Tension dun 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 dun.
I can't say that word.
Oh, yeah.
The one with his back to me turned his attention back to the food. The other one was looking at me, but because the woman was staying next to his corner seat, he was stuck in his seat and couldn't get out. Now was the moment. It was my only chance. She's looking at you like,
Come on.
The payment's on the table. I said this as quietly as possible. Oh, well, whoops. And left the 10 moule bill on the table.
Hey, you, wait.
The officer clearly told me to stop, but I just gave him a sideways glance and walked towards the exit. It was only a distance of 3 steps, but it felt like forever. The yelling officer attempted to chase after me, but with the woman in his way, he couldn't get out.
Yeah.
Did she crane kick him? Oh, no. Shrill scream came from the woman, who lost her balance after being pushed over by the officer. She turned to the other officer, still sitting in his chair in piping hot tension, and looked like it was about to spill. Acting out of a natural self-defense, the officer caught the bowl in his hands. By that time, I'd successfully exited the store. I took off running. In clogs, apparently. Swedish, if I'm not mistaken. Kung, 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 chung, 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 chung. What? Bloop? Yeah, where am I? Yeah, where the hell am I? I spoke to myself out loud to make sure I wasn't in a dream. My throat was dry, though, so it was hard to speak. Cleared my throat a few times and took a deep breath. I hadn't the foggiest how I got here, but after I left the store, I ran for my life towards a narrow street I could. I thought the police would be right behind me if I looked back, so I did nothing but run forward, not looking back a single time. After that, I must have found a handy-looking tunnel to hide in and then fallen asleep inside it. Really, man? The pain throughout my body must have been from sleeping in the same position the entire time. Is this a sewer? In general, any place made out of the moon's unique limestone was a public facility. This place also had cool, rough limestone floors as well as matching walls. Between that and the sound of running water, this place had to be a sewer. I can't see shit, so turn on a light. Right then, I noticed a slight glow around me. Is that from the exit? It seemed like I was nearly passed out, but while I had no idea how long I'd been asleep, it must be night by now. The fact that the lamps were lit made me certain of it. What lamps? Suddenly the road turned into a dead end. I could see the light source on the other side of the wall, now that I faced it, which was even taller than me. Exclamation mark! I let out a quick gasp because it looked as though something on the ceiling had moved, but the only things there were strangely wavering lights and shadows. Like a small bug attracted to the light, I took off my bag and climbed the wall. Then, I saw it was on the other side of the wall, and I let out a much bigger gasp. Dun, dun, dun! Holy! Before me was a huge, spacious atrium. I was near the top part of the atrium. I could see more passages on its opposite and right sides. But the most amazing part was the waterway passing through the base of the atrium. Clear water flowed through it like gentle rapids, and most of the sound of water must have originated there. The bottom of the reservoir glowed a bluish color. Occasionally a fish would move. Ugh, shit guppies. And its shadow on the ceiling would swim as well. As I gazed at the scene, amazed that a place like this existed on the mood. It existed on the moon. I suddenly heard a rustling sound behind me. 3 exclamation marks! As I turned back in surprise, I forgot that I was bouncing on top of a wall. I immediately lost my balance and fell on my butt. Ow! All of a sudden, I saw a pitch-black figure in front of me. Mugger! Rifling through my bag. Oh, literally. Hey, whoa, what are you doing? Not only had my life's wages and labor gone in that BC, but it also carried the 1 billion mool dream that I knew I was going to make a reality. My body moved before I even had time to think, and I tackled the figure. Yeah, beat the shit out of him. I threw myself at the shadow, covering its face with my left hand, aiming for its throat with my right. Oh my God, he's dropping hurting bombs, working on the ground game. It was a technique that an immigrant from Earth taught me. Was he a mixed martial artist? I feel like he was, when I was growing up in a village full of muscleheads. You had to survive the tribe of the Gym Bros, and it was an incredibly effective technique, and it had to be. It was used by someone who came from a place where a failed government was replaced by military forces who seized the UN food supply to be used as aid and would toss it around as if they were feeding animals. Because I was looking at the light coming from the waterway, my eyes weren't used to the darkness. Dude, adjust. Not only that, but my opponent was way weaker than I had thought, tumbling over as soon as I connected. Right at that moment, I saw a small plank-like object fall from the floor. The glowing object looked like it could be some sort of computer terminal. However, I was too busy thinking about punishing this idiot who was searching through my bag. On top of the bastard's body was either not resisting or too surprised. I kept my grip on their throat and balled my other one into the tightest fist I could make. Die. Jeez, I froze my fist still overhead. Oh. I raised my fist and was about to drop my iron hammer of fury. Oh, yeah. No, jeez. I mean, stand back, everybody. Cowboy Cerrone here is about to unleash the haymaker of haymakers and deliver a flurry to the solar plexus of a girl. Come on, man. The Iron Hammer of Fury? It's a good nickname, or like a good name if you're a boxer or a fighter. You're a stockbroker. I don't think there's anybody on Wall Street called the Iron Hammer of Fury, although I could be wrong. But I think this is a good place to end off. So, hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I am. Kind of wish the music would kick back in, but hey, maybe that's something in the settings, or maybe it's just thematic. In any case, hope you guys enjoyed this. And as always, my name's Rye. You guys take care of yourselves.